Good morning. Monday, April 10th. And this morning I want to talk about classified documents. But not the classified documents that were taken illegally by President Trump or by President Biden or by Vice President Pence. These are different types of documents, and they deal primarily with the situations in the Ukraine, the Middle East, and China. And many of these documents are very specific to what's going on in the Ukraine. It's almost like war plans that have been released out onto the internet. And these documents have appeared on several different social media sites. And not small media sites either. They were on Twitter. And they were on other large sites, but they were also on some small sites too. They have been altered. Those who have seen these documents and are upset by the mere fact that they are out there noticed that documents have been altered. They have represented facts that are different from the original documents. Although the documents are in the original form, the information in those documents has been changed. And specifically, the change made the statistics on the war favor Russia in some way, shape, or form. The casualty figures on these documents, the ones that they admitted that were out there, they haven't talked about all the documents that seem to have escaped the hands of those that were supposed to be holding them in security. In any event, the documents were altered to show that the Ukraine losses were greater and that the Russian losses were smaller. So this leads these investigators who are trying to find out who could possibly have gotten their hands on these documents and leaked them, is leaning towards somebody in the Russian family. Somebody who is on the side of Russia has gotten these documents and leaked them out on the internet. Now, this is not a prank. This is a very serious matter. And Mike Mulroy, a former senior Pentagon official, said the leak of the classified documents represents a significant breach in security that could actually hinder Ukrainian military planning, because many of these pictures were authentic. And this leak appears to be done by someone or some group that wishes to damage the Ukraine, the U.S., and the NATO efforts. And the Justice Department has said it opened an investigation into the leaks. And they were talking to the Defense Department, but they're not saying anything beyond that. But one analyst said, what we have seen so far is probably the tip of the iceberg. When they say the tip of the iceberg, that's a warning signal that there's a lot more crap out there. And that should scare us. Scare us to know that we have documents that got into the hands of someone who was not necessarily on our side. So until they find the perpetrators of this event, if they ever find them, the government is going to be in a tizzy. They have to watch every single thing that's going on. And how do we find out who leaked these documents? Well, the only logical way to find out who leaked these documents is to find all the people who had access to these documents. Now, if the magnitude that this article is talking about, hundreds of documents, right? That's a lot of people who could have had access to these documents. So that is a big job that's ahead of the Justice Department and whomever else they secure to help them find this. I wouldn't be surprised if some of people in military intelligence are working with the Justice Department to find out who leaked these documents. Because in my mind, when they talk about plans and pictures of the Ukraine and other strategic information, that would seem to be in the hands of our military as well as the hands of high-ranking and low-ranking government officials who are involved in these wars. Some in some way, shape, or form. In fact, on Friday afternoon, while they were trying to figure out how these documents got out there and what the magnitude was, documents started to appear on channels beyond Twitter. They surfaced on 4chan, an anonymous fringe message board. And the 4chan document was a map that supposedly showed the status of the war in the eastern Ukraine city of Bakhmut, where there has been a month-long battle going on. So the fact that these documents didn't appear in a single shot, but they have been popping up, is very disturbing. And the documents also started showing slides, briefing slides, on things that we are watching in China and in the Indo-Pacific military theater and the Middle East, and documents that about our fight against terrorism. So this is not strictly a Ukrainian issue. This seems to be a major issue on all of the things that the U.S. is, all of the different fronts that the U.S. is involved in. So the Department of Defense and several other securities agencies are in a rush to find the source of the leaks. And this could be a deadly drip of classified information posted on the sites. These leaks are very serious and being taken very seriously. And who knows how many people will be involved in trying to find the perpetrators of the leak. So one has to wonder how badly our security systems are and how trustworthy are the people who get their hands on this information. This is a serious setback to our daily security lives in the U.S. So I leave you with that. Another conundrum that we have in the midst of many conundrums. Have a great day. Bye.